Sir? Yes, Cologne number 7? I've finished that report. The report?
Yes, the reasons why Mishka should keep you as the main clone that makes the videos?
Ah, yes, thank you. There's nothing on here. Now, I'm the main clone.
Hey, SUBFURYs! I'm the new and improved Tim with twice the smile. Not that much smile. I'll just put this down there. Last video, I asked you guys which period of history you liked the most and why. Matt Nort said that he liked the Enlightenment because it gave us free speech. And now we use that free speech for memes. Memes, really? Agent Cooler said that their favorite era of history was today, as in the Mishkarian era. All hail Mishka! Erica Starwell said she couldn't point to her favorite era in history because it's all so good and tragic. That's one way to look at history. At the moment, my favorite era of history will probably be pre-Roman England, just because I'm reading a lot about it for my books and I like trees. On a side note, a lot of you added the Mishkarian battle cry to the end of your comments last video, and I wanted to give you the proper spelling for that particular battle cry. Is spelled like this, and you can share that beautiful sound with all of your friends now. This theory has been suggested by quite a number of you, but it was first suggested to me by a SUBFURY by the name of Patrick Connolly. Last video we talked about how trader Johann might be looking to find a Bewilderbeast egg so that he can raise it as his own, just like Drago Bloodfish, using the ice-tailed pikefish that they found on Outcast Island. We theorized that the ice-tailed pikefish are a special food that might allow the Bewilderbeast to grow massive really quickly. But today we're asking, where would he even find one? I mean, Bewilderbeasts don't just pop up everywhere. You can't just buy them at your local Kmart.
Wait, do you guys have a Kmart? Is that a thing in America?
You guys only have Walmarts or something?
In the episode Something Rotten on Berserker Island, Snotlout and Gustav are beneath Berserker Island when they come across a very particular ice formation. It's a distinctive bluish green, layered and spiky, clearly following a pillar down and then up the walls. Like it has been blasted down into the abyss with enough force to make it spread before finally freezing.
Does that sound familiar to you? Because it should.
I think I've given enough hints. It looks exactly like Bewilderbeast ice, and there is no way the developers designed this in the episode and it didn't occur to them that it looked like Bewilderbeast ice. No, a Bewilderbeast has definitely been at Berserker Island at some point in dragon history.
But why has a Bewilderbeast been there, Tim?
Great question, Discount Jesus. My personal theory is that the Bewilderbeast left an egg there. Now there are a few reasons to think this. For some reason, at the start of the episode, all of Meatlug and Toothless and Hookfang and Stormfly all grow really agitated at the thought of flying down to Berserker Village. This had clearly been an issue for a long time because Dagger actually went and built his dragon stables at the top of the mountain, far enough away from the village that it didn't agitate the dragons. Fishleaks comments that this is very odd because dragons are usually very adaptive creatures. Yet it was never truly addressed in the episode why the dragons were acting like that. They never explained it. What was down in the village that made them so agitated? Probably my sisters.
Probably you.
Be quiet, you child of Smorg and Frodo. No, the better question is, what is beneath Berserker Island? Dagger clearly hasn't figured it out either, but next season, I'm pretty sure we're going to return to Berserker Island and figure out just what hides in that cave of Bewilderbeast ice. An egg. Somehow, someway, the Bewilderbeast egg is being kept safe by something that can repel other dragons, keep them from both finding and eating it. This would be a really important defense mechanism, given it's quite likely that Bewilderbeast incubate for a long time, and there wouldn't necessarily always be a parent around to protect it, given how few of them there are. A Bewilderbeast may lay a nest kind of like this, and hide its egg, knowing that one day it would hatch and grow. And keep in mind that the effect on Meatlug and Stormfly and Toothless and Hookfang when they approached Berserker Island was similar to the effect that Toothless had on him when he came into the presence of the Bewilderbeast in the second movie. We can see then that he instinctively bows. He can't help it. The egg could naturally produce a similar kind of effect possibly, but in the inverse. Instead of making it bow and drawing it towards it, it might repel them away. How? I don't know, and this really is a lot of speculation. We'll have to find out next series just where they're taking this. So that is Trader Johann's plan, I think. He'll use the Dragon Eye to try and figure out where a Bewilderbeast might have left the egg. Then he'll try and hatch it and grow it and train it, just like Drago did with his, using the ice-tailed pikefish that we talked about in the last video. However, we do know that Volker's Bewilderbeast is the first one of its kind that Hiccup ever meets, meaning that the likelihood is that Trader Johann won't succeed in this. He might get the egg and then it won't hatch, or he might get the egg and then lose it. It falls into the ocean to hatch another time in the future. Or maybe he does get the egg, it does hatch, but the riders never see it and they lose the Bewilderbeast anyway. But that's all from me, and that is part 2 on my theory about what is going on with the Bewilderbeast in the next series in particular. I do know how much you love this dragon after one of my last videos on it got a lot of views, so I decided to make 2 more on it. My question to you SUBFURYs is, if you were stuck on an abandoned island and you could only have one thing to spend your last few days with, what would you have? Most creative answer wins. In the meantime, I'd love for you to join other SUBFURYs. Follow me on Twitter, Wattpad, Facebook, email me or send me stuff you've made. The address and links in the description below. Stay nerdy, SUBFURYs, and I'll see you in the future.